Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I am. Not a bad day. It was rainy this morning and got really hot. Then it got kind of chilly, so I don't know what it is today. One of them kind of damp but clammy kind of days. So, yeah. Um, I don't know what I'm talking about today. I mean, I do usually, but um, except my hair won't behave. It's the humidity. But anyway, I don't know. I guess what's been on my mind the most is people trying to mix religions is kind of a big thing that's going on right now. It's not that people can't get along in the world. It's the deception of believing that it is all the same God that people are serving. This is the problem. I'll get into this in a minute. Let me light this little distraction, somebody calling when I'm speaking about this, but um yeah. Anyway, the phone hasn't rang since yesterday. And I start talking about the mixing of religions and my phone rings, so I don't know, whatever. Mm, yeah, okay. Just a little bit odd. So, yeah. Uh, oh, I had this one person I had asked yesterday. They act like they're some kind of Knights Templar. Well, that's like the name of this person's um Facebook page in reference to that, not the exact name, but and I know it's a woman. I could tell by the way it responded to the things that I was saying. Truly, I know. And so I asked this person because they were pushing Israel down and Jewish people and whatever. And I've said it before. I have relatives that are Jewish. I even have people that it doesn't matter who I know or what I know or who I am or anything else. Let me just bottom line all this or who I am not, whatever. Um, when they're trying to mix Christianity, the Catholic religion, and Judaism all balled up in one, or Talmudic teaching. So I asked, what what's up, basically, what's up with the combination of Christianity, Jewish, and Catholic. And this person came back and didn't answer my question, but spelt my name with a little b, a big A, a big R, and a big B after that. And then said some snippy little stupid thing that I didn't even gather enough to stick with the comment in my mind. It was like, whatever, you know. But I did copy what it wrote and wrote something, and I'll tell you what it was in a second here. Um, as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that up and read right off my Facebook what I did write because the importance of what's going on with them to see the dangers of the Talmud, the individual teachings, if they're not reading out of the Torah as a Jewish person and practicing the laws of Moses, then they're not. And they're individually made up family rules entail things that a normal adult person would not want around their children. And that's my fight. So in just a minute, I'm going to read it to you what I wrote. This was on top of the oath that these Templars say to not harm people and protect people and whatever. And I just told them, well, I'll read to you what I told them. That, like I say, will be a better thing. Because these people are trying to deceive other people to have the so-called purple rain in control, where they always have been in um, since the beginning of time, and their time's about up and their reign's about over, and they know that because they're being exposed. So excuse my turning my back on you physically, and give me a moment to pull up this. It was one of the first posts that I did this morning on my Facebook. I was about 20 maybe, so, or maybe not that many, but I'll find it. Won't take me long here because it is important. Like I said, I hope you're all doing well. What a weird world this has become. I'm sure you'll all agree. Yeah. Okay, getting there, I think. Closer and closer. Yeah, maybe there was about 20. Here we go. Oh no! She took her oath down because this is what I wrote on top of their stupid oath that you can go and look up. Okay, I'm going to yell it because Christian, Jewish, Catholic, Knights. LOL. Good one. We have no clue if we follow the Holy Scripture, Torah, or Talmuds, because we are just a bit confused who we are. Lost in large letters, LOL. For the record, you dishonored yourself by not capitalizing my name when I asked why you mixed the Jewish with the Christianity. Come on, let's do this and see who knows what. By the way, as an American, I do not support you. I have more empathy for the Assyrians that were lost, the true languages and beliefs, than I do you. And you, whoever you are, prove to me you are not worthy to be a knight of anything. I think that kind of nails it. I couldn't have just sat here and told you off the top of my head what I had wrote back to this person, but I luckily described everything that was in that conversation, and I do that often. What they did to me, I'll put that up on front on blast, and then tell them what the remedy is within telling where the true languages and lost people are or are not, because some of them are right here in America, you know. But anyway, so that kind of started out my day this morning. It's like, okay, this is what my video is going to be about. Beware of the mixture of religion, because there is no such thing. And I'm going to be as bold to say that there is no such thing as Christianity. When Christ was alive walking this planet, his followers didn't call themselves Christians. He was the Son of God. There was no religion. You know, even the Catholics are not considered Christians, and by no means is a Jewish individual, unless then I'm not talking about your Israelite roots or your lack of Israelite roots. I'm talking about Judaism, the real ones that follow the book of Moses, the Torah. Those would be considered the closest to a Christian, but still not. You know, they certainly aren't too concerned about the book of Revelation. Um, and some believe that just the Old Testament may be the only thing that matters. That's already taken place, obviously. Back then, all the things, everything. There's many things that came upon this earth, and vials and plagues that were set out here, that we are now, that we have the ramifications of what was already done. This is Revelation. It's here. That's why it's here with all the chaos. And it's not that they just brought it about to orchestrate their own agenda, because that's how they did it. That's why they did it. That's why they wrote it like that. It's just God decided to make a lot of their wishes come true, that they thought was just fooling the public. And they were like, oh, jokey, jokey, because they don't care, because everybody's immortal, whatever you want to do with yourself. Um, and there's another thing, too. A lot of people think that we're just a fractal of God. No, we're individual souls, all by ourselves, you know? And trust me, if God isn't talking to you, you'll feel the loneliness. You are certainly not feeling like you're a little piece of everything. Oh, I'm a pine tree today. You know, no, not necessarily so. You don't necessarily belong in the wheel of life, because you may not be a part of life, you know. So that's just something to consider. And no, I am not a fractal of the Almighty. I'm me. I'm not Him living an expression of myself in me. No, I'm me, you know, like my child or my children or my grandchildren. They are not fractals of me living a piece of God through themselves. They are my offsprings. We are His offsprings. We are His children, made in His image, but not Him. The closest to Him is the Son that carries the Holy Spirit from God in Him in human form. And we're also that offspring. We are not a God. Just, I mean, if somebody has a problem being a kid of a God, I don't know what to tell you. Um, if you're a prince or a princess and you're honored by that, and God said, hey, if you need a crown to make you feel happy today, you're happy, we give you a crown. You know, whatever. You know, I'm sure He'd do that for you, you know. So, anyway, but it's a very big deal, them mixing these religions. And like the Jesuits, the Jews, in the Catholic Church, and over in the Vatican, and the Christian representation and different preachers, and they're all getting together and trying to make people believe that we're all one like that, when we're not. When you're standing if you're claiming to be a Christian and you're standing before somebody that believes literally if their penis fits in a child that it can be raped, and you're the goyim and your children are the offspring of those goyim that are going to be susceptible to these laws, the Talmudic laws, that the Noahide laws that are signed in. President Trump was the last one to have, I think it was 12 rabbi around him when he signed in the Noahide laws in the United States of America. That's a serious damn thing. These are the Khazars, the Dark Cabal. They reside in Israel, in Ukraine, in England, and a few other, the District of Columbia, the United States, Washington, D.C. And that's who these people are. Well, I'm in a fight against them, and I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to get all the history and the facts and the proof out there for the people. And when you hear me say it and you hear others say it, and you know that their education brought them that knowledge, and it seems to resonate with your heart. If what I'm saying does resonate with you, will you give me a thumbs up and share my video? Because children are in danger. The future generations in the world are in grave danger right now. And they're going to use the one love, one religion, one government, everything to enslave people worse than what we already are. So it is really impertinent. A lot of times people will hear something on a bigger platform and they'll think to themselves, well, yeah, that's kind of like showy and like space age and new wave and probably, just for a storyline or something. This is not just a storyline. This is the future of the people in the world that they're going to use. This is a major tactic with this religion thing. This is the biggest danger with these Noahide laws in the world. In the world right now, today as I speak. That's the biggest danger. And I'm going to go as far to say something. I'm going to try and say it a little bit coded. So, and I'm not out to offend anybody or hurt anybody or to be incompassionate, but I'm going to tell you in a minute here. It's not easy to say because a lot of people are so visual, everything, and nothing really is visual. It is spiritual. I hope this touches your heart. It's a lot of people that are crying and afraid for their children, and I'm not saying that if your child was evil, that child would never have a chance to make things right in the eyes of God, because if you believe a child could be born into a system of repetitive evilness that has put that and ingrained that in their being, and that's who they are. If you're in that situation, I am also, and it's heartbreaking. So I'm coming from firsthand knowledge on both sides of the fence. So please hear me out when I say these next words to you. Just a minute. What if all the starving and people that are hurt and maybe their souls are meant to go through that because of the amount of the dark force that is in that flesh. No matter the pretty smiles or the skinny children that they show us that are what they're going through and things that have happened to people recently. And I think I made that kind of clear. So, um, people that are meant to be destroyed in these times, if you believe we're in the times we're in, don't be too sorrowful because God's got you covered. Whether or not He has somebody else covered, you can only speculate. I can only speculate. But that, again, goes back to what time do you believe we're living in? Has anything that you've lived through led you to believe that we're living in a sign of the times, that the things that are going on not only have been orchestrated, but Satan orchestrating it against his very own? So, not that bad things don't happen to good people, because they do, you know. If it were based on karma, I think a lot of us have carried the load for other people as well. And there are people that do that and do it quite well, actually. Like I told Doug, if somebody wants to fight, because, when you're out there on the internet and you've got a sword on your profile and you're spouting to me that you're backing up Talmud beliefs, like I told Doug, I will close the door and go outside and you will be just fine if it came down to that type of situation. So, and Darla, yeah, you are right. Doug did marry me for a bodyguard, and he saved me as well. Not, not maybe much, but the one initial time that he really needed to, um, he told somebody that he would bury him in the swamp if they didn't leave me alone. So that kind of constitutes something. Put enough fear in somebody to make sure they didn't come around and try and do anything that they've done to harm me before. So yeah, he did. He did make it very clear that he was capable of doing that for me, and I believe he is. So in that, we do have something in common. We will protect each other. So yeah, you're right. He did marry me for his bodyguard, and it works. So yeah. Oh well, I can't help but only be me. But yes, I really, really hope that if you don't know about the Noahide laws, listen to the pros and cons. Listen to what they think is good about it, and then listen to the facts. If you love children, you're already going to say, well, it says this right here. And there's 13 major things they believe. Well, like the first or second thing is so repulsive. If you can get beyond that, I don't know where your head and your heart is at. I would have no clue at that point. So, but this is the dangers of combining religions or making up your own. A true Christian probably doesn't even have a church today. I'm not saying if you go to church you don't have God in your heart. Or am I? You know, or maybe you're there to try and uplift your church. That could be very well a thing that I could see going absolutely nowhere. So, but yeah, but that's what I have on my mind today. and I have to go open a window because I'm roasting to death. Oh, real quick. I didn't make my chicken last night. I'm going to make it tonight. I ended up having a peanut butter sandwich, glass of milk, and a little piece of I had 4 pretzel rods with cream cheese on it, and then a peanut butter sandwich. And yes, sorry to somebody that's not eating cheese. I don't mean to be a jerk. It is, I live in a dairy state, and it is like just a part of my diet with the whey protein. So anyway, so I had that, and then I had a half of a big candy bar, a little over half. And I'm going to try not to even touch it tonight. But to even stop myself at a little over half was real super willpower. Because if I have that in my hand, I usually just devour it. So if I just let it sit there, it'll be there. Hopefully, maybe not. It depends on how much chicken I eat tonight, maybe. Or maybe I'll just have that little bit, or maybe not. I'll have to see. But yeah, haven't been sleeping too good about, well, I'm just, does anybody believe in directed energy weapons? Because I have I have 5G, but I have even the outside, all my electric all screened off with metal, and a screen in aluminum, and a special screen that we got to put over the router in the house. And but like 3 o'clock in the morning I wake up, and now this used to happen when I was going through menopause, or like right after an injury or something. Excuse me. It's hard to regulate your body heat, but I did have to have the fan on because I just would be waking up roasting at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, and it's been going on for, well, right before I started getting my bloody noses last month, and that did stop, but it took me not being able to clear my sinuses well for more than a few days to get that under control so I wouldn't bleed. But yeah, it was just freaky for no reason at all. I hadn't blown my nose. I hadn't done anything. And one morning I just went like this and felt something. I was bleeding. It's like, wow, this has not happened for decades since I was a little kid. I used to, some of you know. And oh, thank you. If you're new here and I haven't thank you, thank you. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna let you go on that. So I'll tell you if I ate that candy or not tomorrow. So yeah, sometimes well, if I choose not to use my willpower, then that would be on me. But I did get my exercises done early today and a few other things, so I'm not too bad off, even if I do eat something that's not so good for me. So yeah, it's been too much lately though, for my liking. Not enough to make me gain any weight or anything, but just if you feel kind of icky, and yeah, that could make a person not sleep well too. But that usually isn't a problem for me. If somebody doesn't interrupt my sleep pattern, and that has a lot to do with it too, because at that time in the morning, before I'm fully awake, I do um, have a communication with spirit that is not the Most High God that I love, that is trying to talk to me. Well, they're not actually talking to me, and it is a them. The voices I hear plotting against me and talking about me, and I can hear you. are actually people in different areas of the world pulling shenanigans on strong people like me. So, and it is true. The more you speak up and out, the more they're going to try and do something to you. And if you don't believe me, try speaking out about the stuff I'm talking about and see what happens. They'll push back, but I push harder. Just watch. So, okay, everybody. Once again, thank you for joining me from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.